Imagine a world still recovering from one of the deadliest wars in history, only to fall into an even more devastating conflict just 2 decades later. World War II didn't begin overnight. It was the result of years of tension, political mistakes, economic crises, and powerful leaders with dangerous ambitions. So what really caused World War II? Was it just one event or a chain reaction of failures and aggression? In this video, we'll break down the major reasons behind the outbreak of World War II in a clear and engaging way. By the end, you'll understand how history repeated itself and why it still matters today. To understand World War II, we must first look at what happened after World War I. The First World War ended in 1918, leaving Europe devastated. Millions were dead, economies were destroyed, and countries were struggling to rebuild. In 1919, the victorious Allied powers created the Treaty of Versailles, a peace agreement that was meant to prevent future wars. However, instead of bringing lasting peace, the treaty actually created resentment, especially in Germany. Germany was forced to accept full blame for the war guilt clause, pay huge reparations, financial penalties, lose territory and colonies, reduce its military strength. These harsh conditions humiliated Germany and caused deep anger among its people. Many Germans felt the treaty was unfair and unjust. This anger would later play a major role in the rise of extreme political movements. During the 1920s and 1930s, several countries experienced political instability and economic hardship. This created an opportunity for strong authoritarian leaders to rise to power. In Germany, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party promised to restore national pride, rebuild the economy, and reverse the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler became chancellor in 1933 and quickly established a dictatorship. Similarly, Benito Mussolini ruled Italy as a fascist dictator. In Japan, military leaders gained control and promoted expansionism. These leaders believed in aggressive nationalism and expansion. They wanted to expand their territories and increase their power, often through military force. Their rise was a major step toward World War II. After World War I, the League of Nations was created to maintain peace and prevent future conflicts. It was an international organization where countries could resolve disputes without war. However, the League had serious weaknesses. It had no military power to enforce decisions. Important countries like the United States never joined. It failed to act decisively against aggression. For example, Japan invaded Manchuria, China in 1931. Italy invaded Ethiopia in 1935. In both cases, the League of Nations failed to stop these actions. This showed that aggressive countries could act without serious consequences, encouraging further expansion. The Great Depression, which began in 1929, had a massive impact on the global economy. Millions of people lost their jobs, businesses collapsed, and poverty spread worldwide. In Germany, the situation was especially severe. The economic crisis made people desperate for change. Many turned to extremist leaders like Hitler, who promised jobs, stability, and national strength. Economic hardship also pushed countries toward militarization. Governments invested in armies and weapons to create jobs and prepare for expansion. This economic instability played a crucial role in increasing tensions between nations. One of the most important causes of World War II was the policy of appeasement. Appeasement was a strategy used by Britain and France to avoid war by giving in to some of Hitler's demands. They hoped that satisfying his demands would prevent further aggression. Examples of appeasement include allowing Germany to rebuild its military, letting Hitler take control of Austria in 1938, Anschluss, accepting Germany's takeover of the Sudetenland, part of Czechoslovakia. The most famous example is the Munich Agreement of 1938, where Britain and France agreed to Hitler's demands without consulting Czechoslovakia. However, appeasement failed. Instead of stopping Hitler, it encouraged him to demand more. By the late 1930s, aggressive expansion became more obvious. Germany wanted to expand eastward and create a greater Germany. Italy aimed to build a new Roman Empire. Japan sought to dominate Asia and the Pacific. These ambitions led to increasing conflicts and territorial invasions. In March 1939, Hitler invaded the rest of Czechoslovakia, breaking his promises. This made it clear that he could not be trusted. The final trigger for World War II came on September 1st, 1939. Germany invaded Poland using using a fast and powerful military strategy called blitzkrieg, or lightning war. Britain and France had promised to protect Poland, so on September 3, 1939, they declared war on Germany. This marked the official beginning of World War II. World War II didn't start because of a single event. It was the result of multiple interconnected causes: the harsh Treaty of Versailles, the rise of dictators, economic instability, failure of international organizations, appeasement policies, aggressive expansion. Each of these factors built tension over time until war became unavoidable. Understanding these causes is important not just for history, but for the future. It reminds us how fragile peace can be and how important it is to learn from past mistakes. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more educational content. Let me know in the comments, what topic should we cover next? Thanks for watching.